Off and on, I have been playing Roboquest since its release into early access all the way back in 2020. Back then, there were only 5 levels, 3 classes, 2 bosses, and 40 weapons. Even then, this game was incredibly fun to play. It felt amazing. It was super tight, super polished. The only issue was there wasn't more of it. I played around 10 hours of the early access. Even with the little amount of content, it was still better than any FPS roguelike I had played at that time. And I played a lot of them. I played Gunfire, I played Immortal Redneck, I played fucking the Tower game. Oh my god, that was like one of the first ones. I played Ziggurat. You ever heard of Ziggurat? There's a second one out. Mother Gunship, fucking Void Bastards, Post Void, Dead Link, BPM. And not to say these games are bad. In fact, most of these are fucking awesome, including Dead Link. I would say Dead Link is my second favorite. I will talk about that game later. BPM's like a rhythm game mixed in, you know, it's really cool. I'd say that one's really worth checking out as well. But that's not what we're here for. We're here for Roboquest. We're gonna do a little fast forward to November 7th, 2023. Roboquest exits early access and releases its 1.0 update. I actually remember trying this out for a couple of hours whenever it came out. I pretty much had the same opinion of it as I did when I played it in early access. There was just a lot more content to go through. I didn't really stick with it because around that time, I think there was like a bunch of other games that I was really interested in, and I didn't have enough time to really fit in Roboquest because roguelikes tend to eat up a lot of my time because I get really addicted to them. And I was trying to beat a lot of single-player games. But we come to today. We're in 2025. The game's received even more updates. I don't know the most recent update. I'll put it up here. Here it is. This is the most recent update. I decided to get into it. I dropped 35 hours into this game in just this phase I went through. And let me tell you something. It's still the GOAT! Everything about the movement, the new gadgets, you got the new classes, you got the graphics, the art style. It's always been great, but now there's just more of it. The music, oh my god, the music, it's so fucking good. I can't get enough of it. I'm just bopping my head up and down while I'm playing this game, and I'm getting into it, and I just want to kill all these fucking robots. Before, there was only like 5 levels. Now there's like, I don't fucking know. Hold on. There's like this many levels now with like alternate paths, secret paths. There's like new objectives you have to go for, like acquiring these crystals, which allow you to fight the final boss or make the final boss easier. You've got like new additional difficulties, a museum that shows you all the guns. There's more fucking guns, and I mean a lot of there's weapons, there's melee, there's all of this shit, and it's all fucking great. Every run I started in this game felt great from the start. One thing with roguelikes that I do get a little annoyed with, some of them feel a little slow at the start. Like for me, I have around 500 hours into The Binding of Isaac Rebirth, and I think it's one of the greatest games of all time. I wouldn't really compare these two because they're very different. Binding of Isaac, sometimes when I start a new run, it definitely feels really slow, and I'm like, I mean, I know what's to come, I know what could be a possibility of a good run, but at least from the right out the gate, it doesn't feel as good as it can. Roboquest immediately feels satisfying and makes you feel powerful. The amount of weapons you can choose from and how differently each class plays and can be built, like there's multiple builds for each classes. Even though the levels aren't really that randomly generated, for the most part, you're gonna see a couple of like the same kind of layouts. I'm not really that concerned because the levels are really well made. Even though there's not a variety in how they're laid out, there's not like that much variety in how they're laid out. It feels so fucking good running through it, eliminating every robot, just going fucking 90 miles an hour once you kind of get the upgrades and all the gadgets and shit. Like I said earlier, there's alternate paths, kind of reminding me of the way Dead Cells works, where you can get like a new gadget that allows you to reach somewhere where you weren't able to get to before. There's a lot of secrets to uncover and unlock that allow you to get like shortcuts to areas and to get through to the ending pretty quickly. There's a lot of ways that you can make the run last quite a long time and just get insanely powerful. Each level feels awesome, unique, has their own quirks and like, you know, conditions. There's going to be different hazards for each level. It all looks great. It just is so fucking good, man. I would say this game kind of reminds me of the way Borderlands 2 looks. I mean, it's got that cell shading, which is like, you know, that's obvious. But I don't know, a lot of the way the game plays and feels, I think it feels obviously a little bit better with like sliding, jumping, and moving around. But it reminded me a lot of how mobbing feels in Borderlands 2. That was something I used to do quite a bit. I have a little bit of time in the Borderlands 2. It's all right. It's all right. But yeah, I got really into the way the game felt, the way that the loot works, the weapon upgrading while you're on a run. You're collecting these this currency that allows you to re-roll your little passive upgrades. There's also like legendary alt fires you can get that are random on each weapon. And also, I was mentioning earlier, there are melee weapons, and melee doesn't usually work in first person for most games. It's kind of difficult to do that, but this game handles it extremely well. I was running around. I felt amazing using the Panchaku. Dude, that fucking, oh my God. The Panchakus really just, they do something to me, man. They do something to me. So there are 7 classes to choose from. I haven't even mastered or really even gotten into the last like 3. I've mainly just been trying to do as much as I can with each class, take my time with it, see what the class can fully do. And of course, I've been having a blast doing that. So I'm going to mainly talk about like the first couple of classes that I've kind of gotten used to playing. The Commando's kind of the jack of all trades, the original Pringles, if you will, the standard salt potato chip. For your main ability, you basically pop up a shield that makes you invincible for a short amount of time. It's really good if you want to like, specifically for melee. The Commando's Bastion shield is extremely useful if you want to do full melee builds. You press F, all of a sudden you're invincible for a short amount of time and you just fucking go ham. And there's a lot of different perks as you level up through your run that allow you to stay in Bastion shield even longer. Or maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe there's a different route you want to go with it. Maybe you want your alternate ability, which is a melee bash, to get stronger or to, you know, do other funky stuff. Like one of the perks you can get changes your melee bash from like your normal little slice to a fucking hammer that bonks people and stuns them. Then on top of that, you can get additional upgrades that will stack with that particular upgrade. What I mean by this is like you could get the bonk hammer, and then your next level, you could possibly get one that synergizes with it. One of my favorites was whenever you'd bonk an enemy, it just give you a 50% damage increase for like the next 5 seconds. So I just run around, bonk, shoot, 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 and then bonk, shoot, shoot, shoot. And it was just like, dude, this is so good. I'm not gonna act like I'm a master of this game because like I still like kind of suck dick. I've beaten the game a couple of times now. I've gotten like all the crystals and shit. And for the most part, I've done a majority of the content in this game. But man, I still get my ass kicked even on normal difficulty. There are times when I get a little too comfortable. I get a little bit too confident. I throw myself into situations that I don't need to. Oh shit, I was saying the Commando. No, sorry, that was the Guardian. Fuck. All right, so no, now we're gonna talk about the Commando. The Commando is equipped with a double barrel shotgun secondary, which is like your little secondary ability, and a rocket launcher. This class is all about just pure aggression. You're throwing bullets, you're throwing rockets. It's so fucking great. It feels so satisfying to be like, you know, you're shooting with your main gun, you run out of bullets, you press your little secondary ability, blast the fuck out of that robot, and you keep moving along, jump into the air, rocket down. And like I said, there's perks and synergies that you can get along the way that just make this more powerful and more unique and, you know, changes up your build. But getting back to like what you're going to be doing through a run, you're going to be running through these levels. As you kill enemies, you're going to be earning XP to level up. Each time you level up, you get a perk upgrade or a perk. Perks really changed the way that your class works. So like there are exclusive perks that are for each class. All I'm saying is that there's a lot of ways that you can go about building your character through a run. Runs aren't super long either. They're about your standard for roguelikes, which, you know, max like maybe 45 to 50 minutes, depending on how, you know, you take your time if you really want to get powerful. But I've had runs where I've beaten the game in around 35 minutes, but that was with the help of like shortcuts and kind of knowing where I'm going. But even with all the classes and the different abilities that those classes have and the perks which upgrade and change the way these abilities work, you also have 80 plus weapons, and they're all fucking cool. Now, they're not all good. Some of them I don't like, some of them I extremely like. Tons of weapons, like shotguns, pistols, machine guns, LMGs, SMGs, laser rifles, like all kinds of fucking energy weapons. Also, the enemy variety in this game is wild. There's a shit ton of robots that you're going to be facing. There's also like 6 or 7 bosses, and each boss really is cool, unique. It's got a different kind of way you got to fight it. They're fun to fight, you know. Some aren't. Yeah, the bosses go from like piss easy, like, you know, you got your standard monstro, if you will, but other bosses will just be fucking aggressive as shit, just like full of rage, throwing everything they can. There's certain parts where I'm like, how the fuck am I supposed to dodge? Like, I don't think I could fight this enemy without taking damage. There is so much shit they're throwing at me. They fucking hate me. I don't know what their problem is. I've said everything I really want to say about this game. It's great. I mean, that's like, if there's anything to take away, go play this game, please. I can definitely see myself coming back to this game, just playing it just for fun, you know, unlocking some more achievements. I'm like roughly 50% through the achievements, maybe a little bit more. But yeah, I hope I showed you something that maybe you haven't heard of. Maybe you've been kind of on the fence about playing or buying. I don't really have a lot of negatives to say, which is kind of strange. I was thinking about what was bad, and I don't really have any complaints with the game. Like, even performance, nothing's really a problem. But that is going to do it, my epic gamers. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you go play Roboquest, and I encourage you to become enlightened single-player gamers. Oh wait, fuck, this game's got co-op, by the way, just throwing that out there. It's actually got a co-op mode. But none of my friends have it, so I haven't gotten a chance to try it out. Maybe one day I'll try it out, see what it's all about. But yeah, that's gonna do it. I'll talk to you guys later. Hey, peace out, diary. Hey, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.